Good morning. On this video, we're heading to Grayson Highlands State Park for a backpacking loop in Southwest Virginia. We'll see you when we get there. We made it to Grayson Highlands State Park. We're hiking over to Massey Gap to begin our backpacking loop. A little windy and cold, but it's going to be a beautiful 3 days. We just made it to Massey Gap, and we're fixing to start making our climb up to the Appalachian Trail. So, the logistics for this trip, we're going to be doing a little over a 15-mile loop over 3 days. We're going to take it easy, enjoy all the sights here at the park. You do have to have a reservation in the backpackers parking lot if you want to leave out of Grayson Highlands State Park. There are also no campsites within the park boundaries, so you have to hike out beyond into the Jefferson National Forest to be able to camp. Right away, we're just getting some awesome views. There's a little early leaf change. It's about noon right now. The first day we're gonna hike northbound on the AT to the Scales campground, which is about 5.5 miles or so. The second day we're gonna hike over the Crest Trail, summit Mount Rogers, Virginia's highest peak, and then camp somewhere in that area, and then come down on the third day and head back home. And right here is the main reason many people come to visit the park, the wild ponies. There's also some wild longhorn cattle. We're about 2 miles in so far. We've only passed about 5 or 6 people, which is very minimal for how popular this hike and the park is. We're gonna stop up here in a little bit at Wise Shelter and have some snacks and take a break. All right, here at the Wise Shelter, right off the AT, you are allowed to stay here in the shelter. There's no tent camping in this area, and there is a pit toilet as well. We are still on Grayson Highlands State Park property. All right, break time over. 3 miles to our campsite for the night. I forgot to say it's September 27th, and we were really kind of concerned with the weather. It's supposed to be really high winds, very low feels-like temperatures at the high peak of Mount Rogers, but it's been absolutely gorgeous today. Really couldn't ask for better weather. The wind's still a little high, but it's supposed to be dropping through the night. It's supposed to be a really awesome day tomorrow. We are back up above the tree line, got some views, and we're getting pretty close to camp for the night. Well, here's the Scales campsite. This is where we were going to stay tonight, but one of the gates is broken and all the cows are inside, so we're going to go find a stealth site somewhere. Alright, we got off the AT onto the Crest Trail, which is supposed to be the really scenic trail. We can link back up with the AT later on, and we're just looking for a good stealth campsite for the night. I think we found home for the night. Hopefully it doesn't get too windy. All set up, just gotta get the stuff in the tent. More ponies coming right by camp. And some cows coming by now. It's cooling down quick, so we're gonna get some food and probably get us a cup of hot chocolate, get the bear canister put away, and start getting ready for bed. Last bit of sunset. Hitting this side, it's already went down below the mountain. Got everything put away, and we're probably fixing to just lay down in the tent and relax for a little while. Getting cold really quick. We'll check in with you in the morning. Good morning. We're getting some coffee and breakfast going. It got down into the very low 30s, possibly high 20s last night. Feels like we're probably almost down into the teens. It's almost 9 o'clock. Gonna get some breakfast, pack everything up, and head out. We are off and rolling. Walking on the crest trail, we'll be taking that all the way to what's called Rhododendron Gap, meeting back up with the Appalachian Trail and summiting Mount Rogers, the highest point in Virginia. So Carrie had a interesting experience last night, and I say Carrie because by the time I woke up it was pretty much over, but she heard some pony steps coming towards the tent about 10 o'clock, and then it was getting louder and louder and more of them, and guess they splintered around the tent on 2 different trails. She woke me up, but I'm such a deep sleeper, I just kind of woke up and said, oh, ponies, and went back to sleep, but pretty cool. So for navigation, there are plenty of maps you can get, but as far as on the cell phone, there's gut hooks, which is mainly for the Appalachian Trail. If you download the map for the AT through this area, you can follow it on there, and it also has the Pine Ridge Trail, which was the original AT until they changed it. Right now, because we're on the Crest Trail, which has more views, we're navigating using a free map on a Venza for Grayson Highlands State Park. The great thing about this loop and all the different trail options are that depending on your skill level and what you're looking for in the hike, you could do it as a day hike or a trail run. You could make it just 2 days, or like we're doing 2 nights and 3 days just because we really wanted to hang out around camp, be a little lazy, take our time, taking pictures of the ponies and everything, really taking the Grayson Highlands in as a whole. Thanks to this little spring, we're kind of full up on water, nice and hydrated. It's about a mile and a quarter on the Crest Trail. There's a sign for it. And now we're heading onward. That little spring was right before the junction with the Lewis Fork trail. All the other water sources we've passed have been a trickle, barely even that, so definitely plan out your water sources on this route. Awesome campsite right here at the junction with the Lewis Fork Trail. A few more cows here, getting close to Rhododendron Gap, right in the middle of the trail. They're having a good time. Got another pony. Looks like a little yearling there maybe. Some cows, baby cows. All right here, close to Rhododendron Gap. All right, 2 miles to Mount Rogers. Let's do it. We're on the AT southbound. We're gonna stop at the shelter on the way though to have a little snack break. There's Mount Rogers, covered in trees. Thomas Knob Shelter. Time for a snack break. All right, to Mount Rogers we go. While the summit of Mount Rogers itself will be covered in trees, the hike out this way, it's been really beautiful. We actually just stopped for a minute and we could see a lot of the mountain peaks we've hiked before. Rowan High Knob, Grassy Ridge Bald. Can even see Mount Mitchell out in the very far distance, the highest peak east of the Mississippi. We are splitting off from the AT southbound onto the Mount Rogers Spur Trail, so this should only be another half mile or so. All right, that's Mount Rogers, 5,729 feet, Virginia's state high point, and our 6th state high point. We are on our way back to Rhododendron Gap, where we're gonna have to fill up some water anyway. Then after that, we're trying to decide if we want to go ahead and camp there for the night or push on close to the state park boundary for a shorter hike out tomorrow and go ahead and kind of get all the views today. Tomorrow the cloud cover is supposed to increase by the forecast. We'll have to think on it. Nice open campsite here at Rhododendron Gap. Bear box and water available as well. All of our water's all filled up, and we've decided we're going to try and go ahead and hike to this site that's right outside the Grayson Highlands State Park, which will leave us with a very short hike in the morning. Got this nice little scrambly section we're going through right now. more ponies here and some cattle. Alright, this is a cool section here called the Fat Man Squeeze. A little tight, a little bit of rock scrambling. Not too bad though. Alright, Carrie's getting the tent set up and all the stuff inside. I'm doing a little cooking. I'm having the nori yellow rice with some chicken. And then Carrie's doing some ramen with chicken as well. Alright, that's home for the night. Protected from the wind a little bit, hopefully. And even got us $1 million view out there. Alright, last night here, we're letting our food rehydrate. We're gonna enjoy it, some hot chocolate, and watch the sunset and all the colors, and probably call it a night. We'll do a few more videos, but besides that, we'll see you in the morning. Hey everybody, it was a really windy night last night, and this morning there was a little bit of sunshine, but now we're in the clouds and it's still really windy, pretty cold. So we're gonna kind of do a really quick pack up. We're gonna skip breakfast and just get down off this ridge line and off the mountain back to the car. We're on trail by 8:30 in the morning. It's still pretty windy and nasty. We just kind of shoved everything in the bags real quick and we'll take better care of it later. About 1.5 miles back to the car. Hopefully conditions will improve as we get off this ridgeline. Little view out there, getting below the clouds. We are back in the park, getting back close to the car. So long, Grayson Highlands. We'll see you next time. Well, we're getting back close to the car. We really can't say enough about Grayson Highlands. It's definitely way up there in the top of our things to see and do. The views, the ponies, the cattle, the awesome campsites, us being able to be here and catch a little of the early fall color. Just really doesn't get much better than this, even with the weather being a little sour. Back at the car, we hope you really enjoyed the video. We hope we also showed how wonderful the Grayson Highlands really are and what all they have to offer through all of our footage and photos. If you did enjoy the video, please follow us on YouTube, give the video a thumbs up, a like. You can also follow our adventures on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Instead of leaving you with road videos, we'll leave you with a few of Carrie's photos that she took, and those are available on fineartamerica.com. Photoshop Carrie Lee Photography. We'll see you next time.